1K three-turn races, and the last of the quartet will be Southern Gold. Given the all clear, and Southern Gold also on the journey. So our first four crews have hit the water in our first of our 1K three-turn races as a part of our Aoraki Open here this morning. And the four crews making their way up the lake, getting towards their quarter mark, the 250. So therefore 750 to paddle. So the first team to make the turn is the Rainbow Warriors. They make the turn at the top of the lake, or midway down the lake, should I say. And they turn first. Marlborough Dragons hot in pursuit. They're about 2 boat lengths behind team number 1, the Rainbow Warriors. They're about to make their turn at the first mark. A similar margin back to team number 3, which is the Ridge Riders. They're about to manoeuvre their turn at the 250. And they're about 4 boat lengths clear of a Southern Gold. About to make their turn at the Midway Lake quarter mark. And they're well in their procedure to around the midway mark. So 3 of the crews around the quarter mark, 1 just making their turn, that is Southern Gold, but Rainbow Warriors first to hit the water. They lead their 1K time trial at the present point. They've about a 2 boat length advantage over the second team, Marlborough Dragons, Ridge Riders. And the fourth team, Southern Gold, they're about to straighten the dragon boat up and head down the lake for their halfway point. But at the top of the field of the first of our 1 kilometre three-turn time trials here as part of the Aoraki Open. And it was the first team to hit the water was Rainbow Warriors. They're about 50 metres away from the halfway point. And they've kept up that 2 boat length lead in which they started with. So the 10-person crew have reached the bottom of the lake. They're nearly halfway. That is team 1, or Rainbow Warriors. Hot in pursuit is our Marlborough Dragon, our visiting team. And they're about to swing the dragon boat around to complete halfway. And they've only got about a 1.5 boat length clear of team 3, Ridge Riders. Made up good ground on that leg of the time trial. But they've opened up 4 boat lengths, or maybe 6 boat lengths to Southern Gold. So 3 crews have completed the halfway 500 metres. And Rainbow Warriors are top of the field. They're about to head down to complete their 3rd leg. They lead by about 2 boat lengths over team 2, Marlborough Dragons. Ridge Riders have really closed up the gap. They've got a boat length and a quarter behind team 2, Marlborough Dragons, and Southern Gold, as they have completed their halfway. So 500 metres to travel. So still no change in numerical order as they started, though Ridge Riders are putting a lot of pressure on Marlborough Dragons for that 2nd and 3rd spot. But leading still at the moment, team 1, that is Rainbow Warriors. They're about to commence their 3rd turn to complete 750. 2 boat lengths clear of Marlborough Dragons are still holding down 2nd at the moment, though Ridge Riders are putting a lot of pressure on their inside. And they're about a good 8 or 9 boat lengths clear of Southern Gold. So turning first will be Rainbow Warriors. 1 boat length clear of team 2, Marlborough Dragons. Ridge Riders will turn 3rd. But they have got Marlborough Dragons right in their sight. And about half a dozen boat lengths away to Southern Gold. So the homeward bound in the first of our 1K time trials. The 3-turn and completed their 3rd turn. Rainbow Warriors, they are heading for home. They've got their finishing post in sight. 200 metres to travel. They lead over Marlborough Dragons. Ridge Riders on their inside. We'll put in a stern effort to try and overhaul them for that 2nd and 3rd spot. And completing the 3rd turn back in 4th position will be Southern Gold. So inside the last 125 of our first of our 1K 3-turn time trials, and still in front, it is Rainbow Warriors keeping up a good paddle. Holding down 2nd at the moment still remains Marlborough Dragons. Ridge Riders are putting a lot of heat on them on their inside. And a dozen boat lengths away to Southern Gold, but with about 50 metres to paddle. They were first to hit the water Rainbow Warriors are going to cruise down to the ley line and have a boat length advantage over Marlborough Dragons, who have kept Ridge Riders at bay for that second and third spot. So crossing now, Rainbow Warriors ahead, one boat length clear of Marlborough Dragons, who are about half a clear of Ridge Riders. And we've got a dozen boat lengths away to Southern Gold, who've got 125 to complete their 1K 3-turn time trial, the first of our races as part of Aoraki Open this morning. Underway. Simply the breast underway. Pegasus, the Diamonds getting their countdown. And the Diamonds, the Pegasus Diamonds, they're on their journey. 2 to go. Wymack Vibes, Wahine getting set. Got the 5-second countdown. And they're on their way. OPC, the final of our 5 crews to set the water alight in our 1K 3-turn time trials, and OPC nearly set, and they've been given the all clear as well, and they're on the journey. So all 5 crews are on their 1K 3-turn time trial. So they're spread over about 200 metres, the 5 crews, and the first crew about to arc around the middle mark will be Zonta. They've got about a 1.5 length advantage over Simply the Breast, who will turn second. The 2 boat lengths away third, Pegasus Diamonds. And they've opened up Wymack Vibes, Wahine in the early stages by about 5 boat lengths, and 3 boat lengths back to OPC, last of the 5 crews, but it's all against the clock. The first of our 1K, well, our first races on the water. It is a 1K time trial. This is heat number 2, and the 5 crews on the water. Zonta has made their first turn, and they're about to head towards their halfway mark. Also, Simply the Breast have made their turns in turn Pegasus Diamonds. And Wymack Vibes, Wahine and OPC will complete their 250 metres. So Wymack Vibes, Wahine, they are turning the dragon boat around to complete their first leg. And right on their tails is OPC. They've completed their first 250, but top of the field, starting first was Zonta. They still lead at the moment, although Simply the Breast on their inside are making a decent feat to try and surpass them. And they're about 3 boat lengths to the better of Pegasus Dragons. 5 boat lengths back to Wymack Vibes, Wahine and OPC. They've just completed their first 250. And they start at 5th and still in 5th position at this present point in time. But at the halfway mark, Zonta, they still lead on the outside, but Simply the Breast with their inside running are trying to get to the halfway mark first and overtake Zonta and doing a pretty good first of it. So as they get towards the halfway mark of their 1K 3-turn time trials, it is Simply the Breast. They've picked up a spot in the time trial. They will turn first at the halfway mark over Zonta on the outside. 2 boat lengths back to lying third is Pegasus Diamonds. And they've got a 6 boat length advantage over Team 4, which is Wymack Vibes, Wahine and OPC. A 5th of the 5 dragon boats about to complete their halfway mark. But lead change up top, time trial, number 2, 3-turn race, and Simply the Breast. They've got the dragon boat in front and they lead on the 3rd leg. By about 1.25 boat lengths over Zonta. And then we got Pegasus Dragons holding down 3rd. Wymack Vibes, Wahine, they've completed their halfway mark. And OPC in 5th position as they turn the dragon boat round and have also completed their halfway mark. Got well inside the third leg of their 1K time trial. Simply the Breast. 2-3 boat legs clear at the moment over Zonta. Pegasus Diamond, strong paddle in third position. They're trying to pick up Zonta in that second place. 6 boat lengths back to Waimak, Vibes, Wahine and OPC. Are going to try and overhaul Waimak in the third leg of their time trial. So as we've seen, a couple of changes in this time trial, and I'm picking to be a couple more as they finish up. They're getting down to the middle mark. It is Simply the Breast, a very good time trial thus far. They've overtaken Zonta. They started second, now in first position, so at the freeway mark, it is still Simply the Breast lead. Pegasus Diamonds have got their dragon boat on the inside of Zonta, pick up second. So Zonta at this present point of time just relegated back to third position as part of the time trial. And still in fourth and fifth position respectively, Waimak, Vibes, Wahine and OPC. But OPC have done a pretty good job to make up ground on the Waimak team in that third leg. So Simply the Breast, homeward bound. They've got about 175 to paddle in their time trial. Pegasus Diamonds lying second, Zonta third, Waimak fourth, OPC fifth. Well, OPC just had to stop paddling there, got very, very close to Waimak. They just stopped paddling to safety first to let Waimak get the dragon boat in front. But Simply the Breast with about 75 metres to paddle. They started in second position, but they're going to finish on top of the second of our 1K 3-turn time trials. And with about 25 metres to paddle, they'll paddle down to the finishing line and take out race 2 of our 1K 3-turn time trial. So first across the line will be Simply the Breast. Pegasus Diamonds have picked up a spot. They'll head over in second position. They've got about a 3 boat length advantage over Zonta. Waimak Vibes, Wahine, a very strong last leg. They're getting very, very close to Zonta for that third position. Well done to Pegasus Diamonds in second spot. Zonta will hold down third. Fast finishing Waimak Vibes, Wahine. But the girls in orange, Zonta, they'll cross in the third position. 1 boat length advantage over Waimak Vibes, Wahine and OPC Ponga. They will cross in fifth position. There's heat number 2, race 2 of the 1K. A couple of changes during the time trial. Simply the Breast, who started second, they finish in first. Pegasus Diamonds, who started in third, they finished second. And Zonta, who finished Rest of Life on the journey. 1K 3-turn time trial, first crew to hit the water in lane race 3. Pegasus Panthers, I've got the 5-second countdown and they're underway. The Panthers, the Pegasus Panthers coming up. Mana Wahine. They've got their 5-second countdown. They're underway. 3 down, 3 to go. Amazon Hearts have been asked to come on up. And they'll get their 5-second countdown very, very shortly. There it is. Amazon Hearts underway. OPC up next. Their Kakariki team. 5-second stand down for OPC. 40 up next. Ōtepoti on the journey, and says once they've started, the first crew have just rounded their middle mark. That is going to be a Breast of Life. They're around first. Pegasus Panthers around second. About to arc around for their first turn is Mana Wahine. So 3 teams have made their first point turn. Amazon Hearts about to arc the boat around for their first turn. They got 2 lengths advantage over OPC in 5th. They started 5th and a couple of boat lengths away to Ōtepoti. They've got about 25 metres to go for their first turn, but up top of the field, strong start to their 1K time trial as a Breast of Life. They started first. They've opened up a wee bit here. They've got about a 3 boat length advantage over Team 2 Pegasus Panthers. Similar margin Mana Wahine. And then Amazon Hearts, OPC and Ōtepoti. So as they all started, similar margins. Halfway point for a Breast of Life. 3 boat lengths clear. Pegasus Panthers about to go in their procedure to turn the dragon boat around. Then back to Mana Wahine, currently lying 3rd. Amazon Hearts 4th, OPC 5th, and Ōtepoti. Went a wee bit wide in that first mark, but they are gathering up speed now in their second leg. Mana Wahine. They've completed their halfway turn. 3 boat lengths clear of Team 4 Amazon Hearts. OPC made up good ground on their dragon boat just in front of them. That might get niggly in the next 500 metres. And 3 or 4 boat lengths away to Ōtepoti. And Ōtepoti have completed their halfway turn as well. So all 6 crews halfway home, but up top of the field, about to make their last turn. It is a Breast of Life. They're about to complete their 750 metre turn. 3 boat lengths clear of Team 2 Pegasus Panthers. And then Mana Wahine currently lying in 3rd. 3 boat lengths back lying 4th. Still Amazon Hearts. OPC in 5th. And a couple of boat lengths away to Ōtepoti. So Breast of Life, 3 legs down, 1 to go. They're homeward bound. Pegasus Panthers about to straighten up the dragon boat and head for their final leg. Mana Wahine the same. Amazon Hearts just completing their last turn. Same to be said for OPC. And whipping them up last of all will be Ōtepoti. So nearly all 6 crews have completed their 3/4 mark. But up front, a Breast of Life with about 75 to paddle. They started first. They've kept up a very strong time trial right throughout. If anything, they've opened up their advantage over Team 2 Pegasus Panthers. We're just going a wee bit wayward there as Mana Wahine. Just trying to straighten up the boat. They're going wrong wayward here as Mana Wahine. Something wrong there. The cross line in 1st position in Breast of Life. So Mana Wahine have got things a little bit of a stray there in 3rd spot. Pegasus Panthers. They'll cross in 2nd spot. So very unlike Mana Wahine, they got things a little bit astray in their final leg. Amazon Hearts overtaking them, so is OPC and Ōtepoti. So Amazon Hearts. And they cross the line as well. Strong paddle from OPC. They'll cross the line. Mana Wahine is up going again. Ōtepoti about to cross the line. Manawahini trying to finish with a bit of flair down the outside, but Otaporti cross the line now, and then Manawahini. There's a third of our one. The pick is underway. Northern Phoenix set. Waimeka Tech and Southern Premier, they look on. Northern Phoenix underway. Ten-second call for Waimeka Tech. Set. Waimeka Tech underway. Northern Phoenix very vocal in the third spot. Last of our 5, Southern Premier. Wee way back, Southern Premier, but they're coming up now. They're underway. Oh, what's happened to Northern Phoenix? They've got their compass all mucked up. So Northern Phoenix, they've actually pulled out by the look of it. Padleteers, they've completed their first mark rounding, so have Becker. Northern Phoenix, something went horribly wrong halfway down. Waimeka Tech on the journey, and Southern Premier. So it looks like Northern Phoenix will reset. Padleteers making their way halfway down between the second and third marks. Becker around safely, so Waimeka Tech. Southern Premier about to arc the Dragon Boat around for their first turn. And Northern Phoenix have pressed reset and they're back on the journey where they probably left the course from. So Padleteers making their way down the halfway point. Hot pursuit is Becker. Then Waimeka Tech. Southern Premier began their second and third leg paddle. And Northern Phoenix have completed their first leg. So the halfway points. It is a Padleteers. They lead over Becker. And then Waimeka Tech, Southern Premier, and Northern Phoenix. I see the Zonta girls making their way down to the crew loading, and also a call for Simply the Breast. So Simply the Breast and Zonta on their way to crew loading to kick off the 460 heats. Third team to reach the halfway mark. Waimeka Tech, 2 boat links clear of a Southern Premier and Northern Phoenix. But they've got a rhythm now, and they're halfway down their second leg. So 4 of the 5 crews have completed their halfway 1K 3-turn time trials. Top of the Dragon Boat fleet is Padleteers. They lead by 4 boat lengths. Becker holding down second. Waimeka Tech are on the charge. They're in hot pursuit of Becker, and then back to Southern Premier are picking up speed in their third leg, and a Northern Phoenix back on track. They have completed their halfway mark as well. Middle of the lake, Padleteers, 3 down, 1 to go. They're about to straighten up the Dragon Boat for their homeward leg. Becker holding down second. Waimeka Tech and Southern Premier, they're both on the charge in the second half of their time trial, and Northern Phoenix, they're on their leg. Padleteers, homeward bound, 200 metres to paddle. Becker Crusader, or Becker should I say, they have straightened up their Dragon Boat and they're homeward bound. Hot pursuit is Waimeka Tech and a length and a half, 2 lengths away to Southern Premier and Northern Phoenix. They've got about 50 metres to paddle to complete their third leg. Paddleteers, 75 metres to paddle, their 1K 3-turn time trial, where they've kept up a very good paddle throughout. They lead by about 3 boat lengths over Becker. Waimak Attack finishing stoutly down the outside of the lake. And Southern Premier picking up speed on the inside. Northern Phoenix just completed their third leg, but keeping up a very strong paddle. Paddleteers, they started first. They were across the line in first position. Becker holding down second. Waimak Attack are finishing very, very strongly. So are Northern. And it looks like Waimak Attack will just put Becker for that second spot. They will indeed. Waimak Attack finish second, ahead of Becker. Southern Premier strong in 4th spot. And then Northern Phoenix, they'll finish in 5th. After suffering a few problems in that first leg. As we see, they press reset and they've continued, and they'll finish strongly. There's our last of our 1K 3-turn time trials. Paddleteers first. They finish first. Becker, who started second, they finished third. Northern Phoenix, who started third, they'll finish 5th. Started 4th. And Southern Premier, who started 5th, they finished 4th. There's Northern Phoenix crossing the line. The breast closest to us, lane 2, Zonta, lane 3. Coming up to the start line. And we're off. First of our 460s underway. Simply the Breast and Zonta. Line honours belonging to Simply the Breast closest to us, and lane number 2 got off to a very, very solid start. Ahead of Zonta in lane number 3 on its outside. So going through the first 50 metres, it is Simply the Breast and lane at a very swift beginning, and they lead Zonta on as they get towards the first 100 metre of their 460 metre cruise at Lake here, the first of our 460 metre events, and Simply the Breast. So very good in their 1K 3-turn race earlier this morning. They made a very solid start. They lead Zonta by about a boat length already as these crews are heading towards the halfway point of our first of our 460s. As the crews for our next heat make their way down to the start, it is Simply the Breast. Closest to us leads Zonta by 1 boat length, make it 1.5. As they're getting towards the halfway mark, the first of our 460 metre heats, 2 rounds of heats followed by a final, and Simply the Breast at the moment making every post a winner. Now they lead by that 1 boat length. Make it nearly 1.5 as they cruise towards the halfway point. And it's still Simply the Breast. Closest to us with the Dragon Boat in front by about a boat length and a half over Zonta, who are keeping up a very strong paddle in lane number 3 as they cruise over the halfway mark. It is still Simply the Breast. They lead by a boat length and a half over Zonta. And lane number 3 as they get inside the second half of heat number 1 of our 460 metre events. And it is still Simply the Breast. After that very swift beginning off the start line, they lead. Zonta are trying to bridge the gap, but it is Simply the Breast in control at the moment by about 2 boat lengths over Zonta as they get inside the 125, the first of our 460s, and it is still Simply the Breast. Closest to us, they lead by 1.5 boat lengths over Zonta, who are trying to keep them intact, but at the 125, Simply the Breast still in front. Zonta trying hard out in lane number 3. They get inside the 100 metre mark and just starting to open up a little bit now. Simply the Breast closest to us. They've kept up a very strong paddle throughout. They've got 75 metres to pedal. They lead by 2 boat lengths. Zonta trying to keep them in sight, but away they go. So simply the first in lane number 2. They lead by 2.5 boat lengths over Zonta. And the first pair of 460s, they're going to come to the finishing line in lane number 2. It is simply the breast. Strong pedal throughout and about to cross the line with line honours. And the first of our 460, simply the breast first. They win by, let's say, 2.5 to 3 boat lengths over Zonta in lane number 3. There's our first 460s. Taken out by the breast first. Second, Zonta. So there's the first of our 460s. Simply the breast, a very swift beginning of the start. They led early on, kept up a very strong pedal throughout to win. Zonta, very steady throughout, crossed in second position. 3 crews on the water. For Heat 2, Waimak Vibes Wahine, OPC Ponga, and Pegasus Diamonds. Down to crew loading, Southern Gold, Ridge Riders, Marlborough Dragons, Rainbow Warriors, and getting ready to make their way down to crew loading, A Breast of Life, Pegasus Panthers, Mana Wahine, and Amazon Hearts. One, 238.12. Second Zonta, a 253.25. 253.25 for Zonta. Simply the breast clocking at 238.12. Nearly set. We're underway in our second of our 460s between Waimak Vibes Wahine closest to us, lane number 2. Lane number 1, should I say, OPC, lane 2. On the outside is a Pegasus Dragons. Who made the best start closest to us? Waimak, good start. They lead early on. Over Pegasus Diamonds out in lane 3. Splitting them is OPC. In the middle in lane number 2. Through the first 100 metres. Closest to us, it is Waimak. A very good start. They lead at this point by about 3 or 4 metres over in lane number 3, which is Pegasus Diamonds. And then back to OPC, lane 2. They're in third position as the 3 crews. They paddle their way through the first 100 metres. And still Waimak Vibes Wahine. They lead closest to us in lane 1. Over on the outside is a Pegasus Diamonds revving up in lane 3. And then in the middle there is OPC. As the 3 crews, they get towards the halfway mark. And the second of our 460s. And it is Waimak. They still show an advantage. They lead in lane number closest to us by about 4 or 5 metres. Just go weave it with their Pegasus Diamonds in lane 3, and that gives an advantage to OPC to grab that second position. So they get towards the halfway mark. It is still Waimak Vibes. Closest to us, they lead. Lying second now in lane number 2, it's OPC. And then on the outside, we've got Pegasus Diamonds who are just straightening up the Dragon Boat as they get towards the halfway mark. Still in front. It's still closest to us, Waimak, but OPC lane 2, they are carrying speed in lane number 2. We've got about a boat over lane number 3, which is Pegasus. 2 Dragon Horse War here. Still in front, closest to us, Waimak. OPC getting very, very serious now in lane number 2. Put a boat length over Pegasus Diamonds out in lane 3. Get towards the 125. Nothing in this. OPC, they've got the Dragon Boat in front inside the last 100. OPC, they lead in lane. Waimak. Diamonds back. See very strong second half here. They've got Dragon Boat in front and they've pulled about and been to clear. Waimak are trying to come back. It's PC Ponga still in front in lane 2. Waimak are trying to bridge the gap. 25 mark. Lane 2 in front. Waimak are trying to bridge the gap. You see Waimak, 10 minutes to go. OPC still in front and they'll see through. OPC Ponga, they win by about 4 or 5 metres over Waimak. Vibes Wahine, and then back to Pegasus Diamonds. Changes galore in that race there. Waimak Vibes Wahine had an early advantage over Pegasus Diamonds. OPC early on were back in third position, but a very, very strong second half to OPC Ponga. They got the Dragon Boat in front about the 125, kept up a very strong paddle, and went to win the event. So OPC Ponga first, Waimak Vibes Wahine second, Pegasus Diamonds third. So first, OPC Ponga, a 229.25, 229.25. Second, Waimak Vibes Wahine, 231.24, 231.24. And third, Pegasus Diamonds, a 240.34, 240.34. So very good finish at 2. Stand by for a start in race number 7. Southern Gold, closest to us, lane 1, Ridge Riders in 2, Marlborough Dragons in 3, and the Rainbow Warriors in 4. Nearly set. Racing in race number 7. Southern Gold, closest to us, lane 1, Ridge Riders in 2, Marlborough Dragons in 3, and Rainbow Warriors out in lane number 4. So closest to us, making a very good start there is Southern Gold in lane 1, early advantage over Ridge Riders in lane number 2. And then Rainbow Warriors out in lane 3, and then back to the Marlborough Dragons. They're in lane number 3, and they're in 4th position. So they get towards the first quarter of the race. Closest to us, Southern Gold, making every post a winner. They lead at the moment by about 2 to 3 metres over Ridge Riders. They're in 2nd position in lane number 2. Then it's Rainbow Warriors out in lane 4 and 3rd, just ahead of the Marlborough Dragons. As the 4 crews, they get towards the halfway mark. In the third of our 460s, still in front the Lamplighters. It is closest to us, lane 1, Southern Gold, they lead. Ridge Riders closest to us and closest to them in lane 2, second. And then the Rainbow Warriors out in lane 4. They're in 3rd position. And then back to Marlborough Dragons, lane 3 and 4th as they get towards the halfway mark. Still closest to us, LA leads Southern Gold with about a 4 or 5 metre advantage over Ridge Riders in lane 2. And then the Rainbow Warriors, they're out in lane 4 in 3rd position. And then Marlborough Dragons in lane number 3 and 3rd, 4th spot. They get inside the 150 metre mark. The third of our 460s, it is still Southern Gold. They lead closest to us by about 4 or 5 metres. Ridge Riders trying to pick up the ante in lane 2. Then Rainbow Warriors in lane 4 in 3rd position. And Marlborough Dragons inside the 125. It is still Southern Gold in control. They lead closest to us in lane 1. Ridge Riders trying to bridge the gap. And then Rainbow Warriors out in lane 4 and Marlborough Dragons inside the 50 metre mark. It is still Southern Gold in front. Now Ridge Riders are picking up in lane 2. Out of Rainbow Warriors and Marlborough Dragons. Southern Gold still in control. Trying to bridge the gap now. But Southern Gold from go to woe. They'll take out race number 3. Lane 1 closest to us. First Southern Gold. Second Ridge Riders. Third's going to be close. Warriors still in front. Marlborough Dragons are trying to bridge the gap. Rainbow Warriors, Marlborough Dragons. Who's going to get third? Oh, Rainbow Warriors just over Marlborough Dragons at 3rd and 4th position. So Southern Gold first, second Ridge Riders, Rainbow Warriors 3rd, Marlborough Dragons 4th.
Yeah, you're worried there. You look at mine, look at mine. You got the right race. What? Yeah. We're about 40 minutes.
Oh, the watch, yeah.
Push him through. I'll get him through.
So crew loading, we should have a Breast of Life, Pegasus Panthers, Mana Wahine, Amazon Hearts. Make their way down to crew loading, OPC Aoraki, Otapoti, Padleteers and Becca. times for that previous event. First, Southern Gold, 2:12.33, 2:12.33. Second, Ridge Riders, 2:15.57, 2:15.57. Third were Rainbow Warriors, 2:24.51, 2:24.51, and a 2:25.3 from race 4 of our 460s nearly set. Underway, abreast of life, closest to us, lane 1. Pegasus Panthers, the lane 2. Mana Wahine in 3. On the outside is Amazon Hearts, the 4 crews doing battle. And our fourth of our 460s. Best start belong to Breast of Life. Closest to us, lane 1, early advantage. Over lane 2, Pegasus Panthers. Lane 3 lying third, that is Mana Wahine. And then Amazon Hearts on the outside, lane 4 in 4th position. But it's very, very tight up front here between these 4 crews as they pedal towards the 100 metre mark. If anything, now lane 2 have busted their way to the lead. That is Pegasus Panthers. They lead in lane 2 over Mana Wahine in lane 3. Then Amazon Hearts in lane 4 lying third. And then back to Abreast of Life, closest to us in 4th position. They're getting towards the halfway mark of race number 4 of our 460s. Up front, still in front, it is Pegasus Panthers, very close. Challenges Mana Wahine and Amazon Hearts on the outside. And then back to lane 1 and Abreast of Life as they get towards the halfway mark. Another lead change. Mana Wahine have pedalled their way into the front in lane number 3. They lead, so it's Mana Wahine lead in lane 3. Over lane number 4, which is Amazon Hearts, close up third, Pegasus Panthers. And then back to lane 1, Abreast of Life. They get towards the 175 metre mark. And the 4th of our 460s, that's Mana Wahine. They lead slightly in lane 3. Over lane 4, Amazon Hearts. Then back to Pegasus Panthers in lane 2. And then back to Abreast of Life. Inside the last 100 metres. What's left in the tank for Mana Wahine? They lead just over lane 4. Amazon Hearts getting a little bit serious now in lane number 4. And then back to lane number 2, which is Pegasus Panthers. In lane 1, Abreast of Life, it is still Mana Wahine at the 50 metre mark. They lead. Amazon Hearts paddling powerfully in lane 4. And then back to Pegasus Panthers. It is still Mana Wahine. Amazon Hearts getting serious in lane 4. Mana Wahine and Amazon Hearts. Mana Wahine still in front. Amazon Hearts, one final lunge. Mana Wahine in front. They'll see it through. Mana Wahine first. Amazon Hearts second. Close up Pegasus Panthers in third. And a boat length away to Abreast of Life in 4th position. Good race, good finish. But Mana Wahine see it through in lane 3. Second, Amazon Hearts. Third, Pegasus Panthers. And 4th home is Abreast of Life. So first, Mana Wahine, they recorded a time of 2:11.05, 2:11.05. Second, Amazon Hearts, 2:11.7, 2:11.7. Third, Pegasus Panthers, 2:14.96, 2:14.96. And 4th home was. Stand by for a start. Nearly set in our race 9, and we're underway between OPC Kakariki, Closest to us, lane 1, Otaputi in 2. Pedlatiers in 3, and outside lane 4 is Becca. Good start closest to us. Lane 1, OPC, early advantage over Otaputi. They're in lane number 2. Lane 4 lying third, that is Becca. And then back to Pedlatiers, lane 3 in 4th position. Through the first 100 metres, lead change already. Lane 4 got the advantage now. That is Becca. They've bulldozed their way into the front, so leading lane 4, Becca over Otaputi. In lane number 2, line down in 2nd. Closest to us, OPC in 3rd. And then back to Pedlatiers in lane number 3. They're in 4th position through the first 125. It's very close up front. Becca, slight advantage, at only just though, over lane 2, Otaputi. They're followed by Kakariki, OPC, lane 1 closest to us. And then Pedlatiers in lane number 3. They're in 4th position as they're getting towards the halfway mark. Otaputi may have put the Dragon Boat in front, lane number 2. They lead over Becca in lane 4. And then OPC closest to us in lane 1. And then it's Pedlatiers. They're in lane number 3. They're in 4th position. Getting towards the halfway mark is Otaputi in lane 2. Advantage over lane number 4, Becca. Then closest to us, OPC close up 3rd, poised. Then back to lane number 3, Pedlatiers in 4th position. Inside the last 175, battle on here. Otaputi, they've got the Dragon Boat in front now in lane number 2. Becca trying to finish strongly in lane 4. Then closest to us, OPC, Kakariki. And then back to Pedlatiers in 4th position, lane 3. Inside the last 75, battle royal here. In front, still Otaputi, lane number 2. On the outside of the lake, Becca finishing strongly in lane 4. Then OPC closest to us. And then back to Pedlatiers in lane number 3. Inside the last 50 metres, Otaputi still in front. Dragon Boat in front. Down the outside comes Becca, and then closest to us, OPC. Otaputi still in front. OPC flying on the inside. Otaputi, OPC. Otaputi, OPC. Otaputi. They see it through lane 2. Brave OPC, Kakariki 2nd. On the outside, Becca 3rd. And close up, Pedlatiers in 4th. Good race there, Otaputi. They got the Dragon Boat in front at around the 260 metre mark and kept up a very strong paddle. Big finish, OPC closest to us. The win under by about a Dragon Boat head. Tight finish to a race number 9, taken out by Otaputi, a 2:07.48, 2:07.48 second. Lane number 1, OPC Kakariki, 2:07.48. Third, lane number 3, Pedlatiers, 2:10.36, 2:10.36. And then Becca, a 2:11.40. And there's the times for race number 9. Race 10 on the water. We've got Northern Phoenix, Waimak Attack, Southern Premier. And to make your way down to crew loading, the second round of heats, headed up by Pegasus Diamonds, Waimak Vibes Wahine, making their way down to the start and getting ready to make their way down to the start. Zota, OPC Ponga, and Simply the Breast. Racing in the last of our first round of heats between the inside, Northern Phoenix, Lane 2, Waimak Attack, and Southern Premier on the outside. And Southern Premier began like a bullet on the outside of Lane 3. Early big start, early lead. Waimak Attack, second, lane number 2. And closest to us is Northern Phoenix. We're making every post the winner. Southern Premier, early advantage. They lead closer, furthest away from us in lane number 3. Over Waimak Attack in lane 2. And then back to Northern Phoenix in lane number 1. Getting through the first 125 of our 460 metre event. And all the action, lane 3, Southern Premier, made a very swift beginning. They've already got 3/4 of boat length over lane 2, which is Waimak Attack. And then Northern Phoenix getting towards the halfway mark. In the final round, the final heat of the first round of 460s. And Southern Premier out in lane number 3. They lead by about 3/4, make it a boat length over Waimak Attack in lane 2. And then back to Northern Phoenix and closest to us in lane 1. They're in 3rd position as they get over the halfway mark. 230 metres to paddle, and it's still Southern Premier. They lead over lane 2, which is Waimaka Taco, trying to come back at Southern Premier on the outside, and then back to lane number 1, closest to us in Northern Phoenix, inside the last 200 metres, and still on the outside. They lead. It is still Southern Premier. They lead by about half a boat length over lane number 2, which is Waimaka Taco, putting up a very strong second half. Then back to Northern Phoenix. It is still Southern Premier. Tell you what, Waimaka Taco are putting up a very strong paddle in lane number 2. They're out after Southern Premier, who lead. So it's still Southern Premier, lane 3, they lead. Waimaka Taco trying to bridge the gap at lane 2, and then back to Northern Phoenix. It is still Southern Premier in control. Waimaka Taco trying to come back to Southern Premier, and then back to Northern Phoenix. It's still lane 3, Southern Premier. Waimaka Taco lifting in lane 2. Southern Premier still in front. Waimaka Taco trying to come back, but Southern Premier will see it through only by about 4 or 5 metres. Strong second half, Waimaka Taco. And about a boat length and a half third, Northern Phoenix. Premier, very swift beginning. They had about a boat length advantage, but Waimaka Taco, very strong second half, got within 2 to 3 metres of Southern Premier at the line, and Northern Phoenix a length away in third position. First team to break 2 minutes. Southern Premier, 158.72, 158.72. Waimaka Taco, 159.84, 159.84. And Northern Phoenix, 206.00, 206.00. And it is lane 3, Waimaka Vibes Wahine. They lead their counterparts, Pegasus Diamonds, by about 3 or 4 metres as they get towards that 50 or 60 metre mark in the second of our 460 metre events. And Waimaka Vibes Wahine, they lead, just increasing that margin. They lead by about a half a boat length now over Pegasus Diamonds as they paddle their way through the quarter mark. And race number 11, the second round of 460s, and still in front, it is Waimaka Vibes Wahine. They lead by about half a boat length, out to about 3/4 now in lane number 3. They lead, Pegasus Diamonds trying to go with them in lane number 2 as they get towards the halfway mark. Still no change, but a very swift start by Waimaka Vibes Wahine, and they're keeping up a very strong paddle as they get towards the halfway mark. So Waimaka Vibes Wahine, they lead over Pegasus Diamonds. It's out to about a boat length now as they get towards the halfway mark and cross it now. And still lane 3, strong paddle. It is Waimaka Vibes Wahine. They lead by a boat length over Pegasus Diamonds, who are keeping up a steady paddle. And lane number 2 closest to us, well inside the second stanza of race 11. And it is still Waimaka Vibes Wahine, making every post a winner after that very swift start. They're keeping up a very strong paddle down the lake. They lead by a boat length and a half now. Make it 2 as they get towards the 125 mark. Still Waimaka Vibes Wahine as they lead by 1.5, 2 boat lengths over Pegasus Diamonds, who are trying to come back at them in lane number 2. And they get inside the 100 metre mark. This is round 2 of our 460s. And making a very good fist of it, it is Waimaka Vibes Wahine. They lead by that 2 boat length advantage. Strong paddle in lane 2 by Pegasus Diamonds. But as they get closer to the finishing line, it is Waimaka Vibes Wahine. They made a very swift start. They've kept up a very strong paddle throughout, and they're going to go down easy. So lane 3, Aoraki Vibes Wahine. They take out round 2.5 boat lengths over Pegasus Diamonds. They have a very strong paddle into 20 minutes of paddle, and they'll cross the line and so Waimaka Vibes Wahine first. Second will be Pegasus Diamonds.
So Waimak Vibes, Wahine 228.55, 228.55, and second Pegasus Diamond a 240.73, 240.73. Racing in race number 11 between Zonta, OPC and Simply the Breast. The best start was made on the outside, lane 3, Simply the Breast on the journey. OPC in lane 2, about second at the moment, and back to lane number 1, Zonta, 4 to 5 metres top to tail. Early stages, Simply the Breast, they lead in lane number 3. Over lane 2, OPC, and then back to Zonta. They're in lane number 1, closest to us, through the first 50 or 60 metres, and it's lane 3. They lead. Simply the Breast lead by about 3 or 4 metres on lane number 2, OPC, and then back to lane number 1 in Zonta. The three crews, they are paddling towards the quarter mark in their 460 metre event, and it is still lane 3. Simply the Breast, they lead over OPC, lane 2 second, and then back to lane number 1, which is Zonta in third position. The three crews halfway between the quarter and halfway mark. Simply the Breast, they made a very swift start, and they lead over lane number 2, which is OPC. Then back to lane number 1, Zonta, as they're getting towards the halfway mark in race number 12. And it's on the outside. Simply the Breast, they lead. Over lane number 2, OPC. Then back to lane number 1, which is Zonta, towards the halfway mark. And it is still Simply the Breast. They lead, only just though, narrowly. Coming back at them is OPC in lane number 2. And then back to Zonta, lane number 3, inside the second half of race number 11. Race 12, should I say, and it's still out in front. It is lane 3. Simply the Breast, challenge on their hands though. OPC going with them in lane 2. And then back to lane number 1 in Zonta. Inside the last 150 metres of race 12. Still in front on the outside. It is Simply the Breast, though OPC once again finishing very strongly. And then back to Zonta in lane 3. Inside the last 100, lead change now. OPC have really picked up the ante and have got the Dragon Boat in front. Can Simply the Breast come back at them in lane 3? Then back to Zonta. It is OPC Ponga. They're still in front in lane number 2. On the outside is Simply the Breast. Zonta's a boat length away. Inside the 50, OPC still in control. On the outside, Simply the Breast are bridging that gap. And then back to Zonta. Inside the 30 metre mark. Still in front. OPC. Simply the Breast are trying to bridge the gap. But OPC once again a very strong second half. And OPC Ponga go down the line, they're drawing away. OPC first, Simply the Breast second half a boat length away, and third 2 boat lengths away will be Zonta. OPC, once again, very strong second half. Simply the Breast had a clear advantage at the halfway mark, but OPC really picked up the ante over the second stanza, and they won it by half a boat length. Zonta strong in third. OPC, Ponga. Which means no idea. No. Well, it's actually funny. There's actually 2 meanings of locomotive. There's Ponga and Mona. Yeah, that just confused everyone.
So, race number 12, first OPC Ponga, 237.78, 237.78. Second, Simply the Breast, 240.49, 240.49. And third, Zonta, a 248.86, 240.86. That is race number 12. Racing. Race 13 is underway between Marlborough Dragons, Rainbow Warriors, Southern Gold and Ridge Riders. Ridge Riders on the outside, lane 4, best start. Over lane number 3, Southern Gold. Then lane 1, Marlborough Dragons and Rainbow Warriors. And lane number 2, they're in 4th position. But the best start made by Ridge Riders. On the outside, lane 4, early advantage. Lane 3, Southern Gold. Then Marlborough Dragons closest to us, lane 1. And then back to Rainbow Warriors in lane number 2. Getting towards the quarter mark, and out in front it is Ridge Riders. Ridge Riders lead at the moment over Southern Gold in lane 3.
Then back to lane 1, Marlborough Dragons, and lane number 2 is Rainbow Warriors. They're over the half of their quarter mark, and still lane 4 lead. That is Ridge Riders over Southern Gold. Lane 1, Marlborough Dragons lying third, Rainbow Warriors in fourth position. These four crews, four Dragon Boat crews, they get towards the halfway mark, and it is Ridge Riders up that very swift beginning. They lead in lane number 4. Southern Gold are trying to draw back that advantage. Lane number 3, lane number 1, Marlborough Dragons lying third, and then Rainbow Warriors in lane number 2. They're in fourth position. They get to the halfway mark, and still in front, it is still Ridge Riders. They lead by 4 or 5 metres. Over lying second is Southern Gold, are picking up the tempo in lane 3. Then back to Marlborough Dragons in lane 1 and Rainbow Warriors inside the last quarter. It is still Ridge Riders, but here comes Southern Gold. They're really revving it up in lane number 3. Then back to lane 1, Marlborough Dragons and Rainbow Warriors inside the last 100 metres. Still in front, it is Ridge Riders, but Southern Gold are finishing very powerfully in lane number 3. They've got the Dragon Boat in front. Southern Gold in front now. Ridge Riders are trying to come back. Then Marlborough Dragons and Rainbow Warriors, a very strong second half here. Southern Gold in front. Can Ridge Riders bridge that gap? Southern Gold and Ridge Riders, they're going tooth and nail here. It's still Southern Gold. Ridge Riders are trying to bridge the gap. Southern still in front. Shadows in the post. Southern Gold and Ridge Riders. Who's it going to be? Southern Gold, Ridge Riders. Southern Gold. Southern Gold beat Ridge Riders. Third is going to be Marlborough Dragons. And a length or 2 lengths back to Rainbow Warriors. Good finish there. Ridge Riders are very swift beginning. They had the advantage. And then Southern Gold overcome them in the second half of the race. And Southern Gold got the Dragon Boat in front and went on to win. Southern Gold first, Ridge Riders second, Marlborough Dragons third, Rainbow Warriors fourth. Race 13, first Southern Gold, 2:14.17, 2:14.17. Second Ridge Riders, 2:14.59, 2:14.59. Third Marlborough Dragons, 2:21.06, 2:21.06. And fourth Rainbow Warriors, 2:31.86. Nearly set. We're underway in race 14 between the Pegasus Panthers, Amazon Hearts, A Breast of Life, and Ōtepoti. Best start the outside. Ōtepoti made a very solid start in lane number 4, early advantage over lane 2, Amazon Hearts. Then lane number 1, Pegasus Panthers, and back to lane 3, A Breast of Life. Through the first 50 metres, lane 4, Ōtepoti have an advantage in lane 4 over lane 2, Amazon Hearts. Then back to lane number 1, which is Pegasus Panthers, and lying in third position, and lane 3, A Breast of Life, and they are back in fourth spot, so they get towards the quarter mark. And race number 14, and out in front is Ōtepoti. They made a very good beginning and they lead in lane number 4. Lying second, lane 2, Amazon Hearts. Then back to lane 1, Pegasus Panthers, and A Breast of Life. They're in lane 3 and they're in fourth position as they get towards the halfway mark. And still Ōtepoti, after that very good beginning, they lead in lane 4 over Amazon Hearts in lane 2. Then back to Pegasus Panthers in lane 3 in third position, and lying fourth there in lane 3 is A Breast of Life into the second half of race 14. And Ōtepoti, our southern visitors, they lead in lane 4. They lead by about 4 or 5 metres. Lying second now in lane 2 is Amazon Hearts. Lane 3, that is Pegasus Panthers. Then back to lane 3, A Breast of Life. Inside the last 125. It is Ōtepoti in lane 4. They lead. Lying second, lane 2, Amazon Hearts. Then back to lane 1, Pegasus Panthers. And lane 3 is fourth, A Breast of Life. 100 metres to paddle. It is still Ōtepoti in lane number 4. They lead over lane 2, Amazon Hearts. Then back to lane Panthers. Rest of Life lane fourth and inside the last 75 metres. After that very good beginning, they still lead as Autoporti keeping up a strong pedal in lane number 4. They lead. Amazon Hearts finishing swiftly in lane number 2. Then Pegasus Panthers and Rest of Life. But with 25 metres to go, Autoporti will go down the line to win it. Very strong second half by Rest of Life. They'll grab second. Amazon Hearts second, but Autoporti, they win it. Second, Amazon Hearts. Third's going to be close. It's going to be inside Pegasus Panthers. And fourth, 8, 5.
All good. Mighty good.
Faster times. With the wind blowing behind you. Yeah. Yeah, Dion was grateful of that. The coast to coast last week. He knew the tailwind at the end of the last day.
Race 15 is underway. Pedaleteers, Northern Phoenix, OPC Kakariki, Mana Wahine. Best start belonged to lane 2. Northern Phoenix away very well in lane 2, just ahead of OPC in lane 3. Then lane 4, Mana Wahine. And then back to Pedaleteers in lane number 1. Lane 2, they have an advantage. That is Northern Phoenix. They lead 2 or 3 metres over lane number 3, which is OPC. Then lane 4, Mana Wahine. And then back to lane 1, Pedaleteers through the first quarter of their 460 metre event. And it is lane 2, Northern Phoenix. They lead over lane number 3, OPC Kakariki. Then lane 3, lane 4, should I say, Mana Wahine. And then back to lane number 1 and the Pedaleteers. The 4 crews are padding the way towards the halfway mark. And race 15, and it is Northern Phoenix lane 2. They lead over OPC lane 3. They're in second position. Lane 4, which is third, and then back to lane 1 and Pedaleteers as they cruise towards the halfway mark. It is still Northern Phoenix. Lane 2, they lead over lane 3, OPC Mana Wahine. They're trying to lift the tempo in lane 4, then back to lane number 1, which is Pedaleteers. 200 metres to pedal. Still in front, Northern Phoenix, lane 2. They've got a half a boat advantage over lane number 2, lane 3, OPC Kakariki in second. Then Mana Wahine lifting the rate in lane 4. And then back to 1, Pedaleteers inside the 125. It is still Northern Phoenix. They're in front. They lead by 4 or 5 metres. Lying second now is going to be a big finish here by OPC Kakariki. Very strong finish in lane 3. Then Mana Wahine. OPC have overhauled lane 2 in Northern Phoenix. OPC now in front. Mana Wahine finishing strongly in lane 4. Then back to Northern Phoenix in lane 1, Pedaleteers. OPC lane 3 in control. Mana Wahine strong finish in lane 4. Northern Phoenix finishing strongly. It is still OPC. Northern Phoenix are trying to come back. Mana Wahine, but OPC, they'll win it all. Second. Very close. OPC get the win. Strong. Phoenix. OPC once again a very strong second half. They bulldoze their way through the middle, grab the win. Northern Phoenix were holding down second. Mana Wahine finished very strongly in 4, very close second and third. Here's fourth. So Northern Phoenix got the win, lane number 3, 208.35. Sorry, OPC Kakariki, lane 3 got the win, 208.35. Northern Phoenix held second, 209.26, 209.26 from a fast finishing Mana Wahine third, 209.39. and fourth was Padleteers, a 2:14.71. So very close finish there. But OPC Kakariki, which has been the recipe of the day, they have a very strong second half. And they overhauled Northern Phoenix and went on for the win. Northern Phoenix battled well for second. Mana Wahine, very strong last 100. They were close up third, and Padleteers in fourth position. Set racing in our last of our 460 heats between Becker, closest to us, lane 1. Lane number 2 is Southern Premier, and lane 3 is Waimak Attack. Best start made by lane 2, Southern Premier. Early advantage over Waimak Attack, then back to lane number 1, which is Becker through the first 50 metres. Southern Premier, lane 2, they lead over Waimak Attack in lane 3. Then back to Becker, back in third position towards the quarter mark. In the last of our 460 metre heat, and still in front now is Southern Premier. They've opened up about a 4 or 5 metre advantage of the outside is Waimak Attack. Then back to lane number 1, which is Becker through the first quarter. Still in front, Southern Premier in lane number 2. Half a boat length advantage over Waimak Attack in lane 3. Then back to lane 1 and Becker through the 150 metre mark. Still in front is Southern Premier, lane 2. They lead Waimak Attack in lane 3 in second position. And then back to Becker, closest to us in lane 1 in third position. Cruising past the halfway mark. It is still Southern Premier after that very swift beginning. They lead over Waimak Attack, who are lifting the ante in lane number 3 now. Then back to lane 1 and Becker inside the 175. Still in front is Southern Premier, lane 2. They've been in front of... They lead by half a boat length. Waimak Attack are now bridging the gap in lane 3. Then back to lane 1 and Becker. Inside the last 125. Southern Premier. What's left in the tank? Waimak Attack lifting in lane 3. Then back to lane 1 and Becker. It is still Southern Premier in front. Waimak Attack are lunging on the outside. Then back to lane 1 and Becker. It is still Southern Premier. Waimak Attack are now lifting in lane number 3. Then back to Becker. Still Southern Premier. Now Waimak Attack getting very serious in lane 3. Southern Premier, Waimak Attack, then back to Becker. Southern Premier still in front. They're going to see it through. And Southern Premier win it by about half a boat length over Waimak Attack. Close up second. 3 boat lengths back to Becker in lane 3. Swift beginning there. Led up a very sustained pedal. Waimak Attack lifted over the last 125. And Becker will finish in third spot. Once again, Waimak and Southern breaking the 2 minutes. So first in lane 2, Southern Premier 158.57, 158.57. I think I told a lie. Waimak Attack just over the 2 minutes, 2 minutes 0.98, 2 minutes 0.98, and Becker 2:15.33, 2:15.33. Well, that completes the heats of the 460. Stand by for the lane draw for the 460 metre finals. Waimak Vibes, Wahine and Simply the Breast making their way to crew loading. Marlborough Dragons, before we go that, we'll get on with this final, underway. First of our 460s finals underway between Zonta and Pegasus Diamonds. Good start, Pegasus Diamonds out in lane number 3. They got a slight advantage over Zonta over the first sort of 25 or 30 metres, so they paddled away through that first 50 metre mark. And it is Pegasus Diamonds on the outside in lane 3. They lead Zonta in lane number 2 by about 3 or 4 metres as they paddle through the first 50 metres of the first of our 6 460 metre finals. This is the minor ladies final, and in front is Pegasus Diamonds. They're in lane number 3. They got an advantage over Zonta in lane number 2 of about 4 to 5 metres as they get towards the quarter mark of the first of our finals, and it's still Pegasus Diamonds. After a very swift beginning, they lead out Zonta by half a boat length as they go over the halfway or the quarter mark. Still got roughly about 280 metres to paddle, and still in front now is Pegasus Diamonds. They lead by that half a boat length over Zonta, make it 3/4 of a boat length this early stage as they paddle their way towards the half mark. The first of our 460 metre finals, and it's still Pegasus Diamonds making every post the winner. They lead over Zonta. Still lifting there, the 2. As they get towards the halfway mark, and it's still Pegasus Diamonds. After a very swift beginning, they are continuing that high paddle rate. They lead over Zonta, who are trying to bridge the gap in lane number 2 as they get into the second stanza of the first 6 finals. The minor grand final for the ladies, and out in front, it's still going to be Pegasus Diamonds, 3/4 of a boat length clear, nearly a boat length now as they get within the last 200 metres. Still in front, Pegasus Diamonds out in lane 3. They lead Zonta in lane 2, closest to us, about half a boat length now. So the last couple of metres have been pretty strong from Zonta. Pegasus Diamonds still in front, get inside the last 120 metres. They still lead over Zonta. Pegasus Diamonds, with about 100 metres to go, about 3/4 to 1 length clear of Zonta. As they get towards the last 100 metres, still Pegasus Diamonds in control of our minor final. They lead Zonta by a boat length and a half now. They've got about 65 metres to paddle. Lane 3 still in control. That is the girls from Pegasus Diamonds. And they are opening up now, lead by 2 boat lengths. Zonta brave in second, but down to the wire they go. And Pegasus Diamonds, they get the first of our 460 finals. They win it by about 2 boat lengths. Pegasus Diamonds first, second brave will be Zonta. So there's the first of our 460 metre finals, the minor women's final, taken out by Pegasus Diamonds. They had about a 2 boat length advantage over Zonta on the completion of their final. So Pegasus Diamonds first, 238.95, 238.95. Second Zonta, 248.48, 248.48. OPC closest to us, Waimak Vibes, Wahine in 2, Simply the Breast in 3, and they are racing. So our second final is underway between OPC closest to us and lane 1, lane 2, Waimak Vibes, Wahine. Now they made the best start, and out in lane number 3 is Simply the Breast. So they get into a rhythm through the first 50 metres. It is lane 2, Waimak Vibes, Wahine. They lead over lane number 1 closest to us, OPC, and then out to lane number 3 and Simply the Breast as they are paddling towards the quarter mark. And the second of our finals, this is the women's grand final. Out in front, it is Waimak Vibes, Wahine. They lead by about 3/4 of a boat length. Second is OPC, but expect them to finish strongly over the second stanza. And then out to lane number 3, which is Simply the Breast, as they get towards the quarter mark. And they've got roughly 3:30 to paddle. And still in front, it is lane number 2, Waimak Vibes, Wahine. And they lead by about a 3/4 of a boat length. Line second, OPC closest to us in lane 1. And then out to lane number 3 and Simply the Breast. The 3 crews, they are paddling towards the halfway mark. And final number 2, out in front, Waimak Vibes, Wahine. And they lead by 3/4 to a boat length. Lane 1 holding down second. That is OPC Ponga. And then out to lane 3 and Simply the Breast. Get to the halfway mark, still in front, lane 2, Waimak Vibes, Wahine have got the race in control at the moment. They lead over lane 1, closest to us, OPC, expect them to rattle home late. And then out to lane 3 and Simply the Breast. 200 metres to paddle, still in front. It is Waimak Vibes, Wahine. They show a very healthy advantage over lane number 1, OPC. Then lane 3, Simply the Breast. 150 to paddle, no change, still Waimak Vibes. They've got the race in control at the moment. OPC lifting lane 1, and then Simply the Breast out of lane number 3. At the 150 metre mark, still in front, it is Waimak Vibes, Wahine. They lead by about 3/4 of a boat length. OPC lifting lane 1. Then Simply the Breast out in lane 3. Inside the last 100 metres, Wymack still in control. OPC trying to lift closest to us. Then Simply the Breast, but I think it's all Wymack Vibes Wahine. Away they go. With about 50 metres to go, they're clear by a boat length, and they made a very swift beginning. Strong pedal throughout. Wymack Vibes Wahine down the line. They win it by a boat length and a half. Second OPC closest to us, and third Simply the Breast. There is the women's grand final. First Wymack, second OPC, and third home will be Simply the Breast.
Done playing?
What you need me to look after all my racing.
Everything.
Right. I hope you enjoyed your lunch, Pete.
Oh, bloody good. Bloody good.
And the coffees and
No, I appreciate that. Bloody good.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm mixing it up with a bit of hot chocolate.
They make a nice hot chocolate, don't they?
I know the woman who owns that business.
Yeah.
She's very particular about her staff, and I've known her. No, I think she started 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, they make it good.
A .98235, a .984 Simply the Breast. Next final is the small mix final. Dragon boats making their way down to the start. Lane 1, Marlborough Dragons. Lane 2, Southern Gold. Lane 3, Ridge Riders. Lane 4, Rainbow Warriors. At crew loading for our fourth final, Amazon Hearts, OPC, Otapoti, Manawahine. And thinking about making their way to the final, Pegasus Panthers, Becca, A Breast of Life.
The minute you get a cancellation, you tell me when, where, I'll be there. I don't care who. But keep silent.
Oh, okay.
Women's Grand Final underway between Amazon Hearts, Lane 1, OPC, Lane 2, Lane 3, Otapoti, and Manawahine out in Lane number 4. Good beginnings, Lanes 1 and 3. Amazon Hearts and Otapoti made the best of the beginnings. Otapoti, Lane 3, lead early on. Over Lane 1, Amazon Hearts. Then Lane number 2, OPC, Lane 4, Manawahine. Through the first quarter of our grand final, number 3, out in front, Otapoti. They lead in Lane 3. They've got about a 2 to 3 metre advantage. Lane 1 lying second. That is Amazon Hearts. Then Lane 2, OPC, now gathering speed in Lane 2. Then Lane number 4, which is Manawahine. In front still is Lane number 3, Otapoti, now being challenged by OPC. In Lane 2, Amazon Hearts relegated back to third, and Manawahine 3/4 of a boat length back to fourth position. It is Otapoti, Lane 3 lead at this point. OPC, serious lunch. Correction, lane, we're at the mixed final. So in front, it is Southern Gold, lane number 2. They lead over lane 3, which is Ridge Riders. Then back to lane 1, Marlborough Dragons, and lane 4, Rainbow Warriors. Had the wrong final there for a minute. So lane 2, Southern Gold. They now lead over Ridge Riders. Then back to lane 1, Marlborough Dragons, and lane 4, Rainbow Warriors. Into the second stanza. In front, it is lane 2, Southern Gold. They lead over lane 3, Ridge Riders. Then Marlborough Dragons, lane 1, and Rainbow Warriors getting inside the 125 metre mark. And their third final, in front, Southern Gold, lane 2. They lead over Ridge Riders. Then Marlborough Dragons, lane 1, and lane 4, Rainbow Warriors. 100 metres of paddle. It is still lane 2, Southern Gold over Ridge Riders. Then Marlborough Dragons and Rainbow Warriors. It is still Southern Gold in lane 2. Ridge Riders picking up the ante in lane 3. It is still in front. Southern Gold. Ridge Riders finishing strongly in lane 3. Still Southern Gold. Ridge Riders lane 3. Very strong finish. Still Southern Gold in front. Ridge Riders going to lunge in lane 3. Southern Gold, Ridge Riders. Southern Gold. Southern Gold beat Ridge Riders. Third will be Marlborough Dragons in lane number 1. And then Rainbow Warriors in lane number 4. Apologise there for the wrong final early on, but Southern Gold get the win in lane number 2 over Ridge Riders, Marlborough Dragons and Rainbow Warriors. So Southern Gold, our winners, 214.86, 214.86, defeating Ridge Riders, 215.88, 215.88. Third lane 1, Marlborough Dragons, at 220.19, Rainbow Warriors, 225.55. That is our mixed final, taken out by Southern Gold. halfway mark, and it's still 40. They lead 300 metres over lane 2 in OPC. Then lane number 1, Amazon Heart. It is back to Mana Mahini. Get a mouse affair here as they go towards the halfway mark. In front, it's still 40. Always in second position there is OPC. Followed by lane 1, Amazon. Inside the last 125. One take for the tank for the 40. They lead by 3 to 4 metres. OPC lifting in lane 2. Then lane 1, Amazon Hearts and Mana Mahini. Inside the last 100. Onto one, stop control. OPC trying to lift in lane 2. Then Amazon Hearts and Mana Mahini. 75 metres to pedal. Onto one in neutral. OPC lifting in 2. Amazon Hearts and Mana Mahini. And it's still onto one in. OPC trying to get them in. Onto one is still in control. OPC allowed to lunge, but onto 40 will see it through. They win by 5 metres. Second will be OPC Amazon Hearts and Mana Mahini. Onto 40. Very solid start. Very swift start for the body. Kept up a very strong pedal throughout. OPC finished race off very strongly. Second will be their lot. Then Amazon Hearts and Mana Mahini. Skills for your mid-afternoon caffeine hit, whether it's a flat white latte, hot chocolate, Americano, whatever your poison might be. The girls will be more than happy to assist there at the coffee skills for your caffeine hit, and the lads at the G-spot for your calorie intake for the afternoon. Right, we're nearly set. Our last of our 460s. Starter's hand racing. Pedaleteers lane 1, Waimak Attack 2. Southern Premier in 3. And Northern Phoenix in lane number 4. Best start belonged to Waimak Attack. They got the start perfect that time. They lead early on over lane 3, Southern Premier. Then it's lane 4, Northern Phoenix in lane 1, Pedaleteers. It is Waimak Attack, an early advantage in lane 2. Now being challenged by Southern Premier in lane 3. Then back to lane 4, lying third. That is Northern Phoenix and Pedaleteers, lane 1 in 4th position. Hammer and Tong up front. Both these cruisers, lane 2, Waimak Attack, they lead. Poison second spot, lane 3 is Southern Premier. Narrow lane 4, Northern Phoenix are getting into their gears. Then back to lane 1, Pedaleteers, as they go past the halfway of the quarter mark towards the halfway. It is still Waimak Attack, they lead. Poison second, Southern Premier. They were followed third on the outside, Northern Phoenix. Then back to lane 1, Pedaleteers at the halfway mark. It is Waimak Attack trying to turn the tables on Southern Premier. They lead by 3 or 4 metres. Then lying third in lane number 4. It is a Northern Phoenix. Then back to lane number 1, Pedaleteers inside the second stanza. It is still Waimak Attack with an advantage. In second position, Southern Premier. They were followed by in lane number 4, lying third, Northern Phoenix. Then lane number 1, which is Pedaleteers. It is Waimak Attack at the 175. They lead Southern Premier. Then it is lane number 4 on the outside, and Northern Phoenix and Pedaleteers. Waimak Attack, they've been in front since the get-go. Southern Premier starting to lift in lane number 2. Then it's out to Northern Phoenix and Pedaleteers at the 55. Waimak Attack still in control. Lifting is Southern Premier. These two drawn away from on the outside, lane number 3, which is Northern Phoenix and Pedaleteers. Waimak Attack and Southern Premier. Waimak Attack, Southern Premier, nothing in it. Waimak Attack, Southern Premier, they hit the line. Maybe Southern Premier over Waimak Attack. And then lane number 4, which was Northern Phoenix. Lane 1, Pedaleteers. Well, I can tell you, Waimak Attack were in front 99% of that race. They may have been pipped right on the line with a serious lunge from Southern Premier. Leave it up to the photo finish. But maybe Southern Premier has just come through. Southern Premier get the nod. Narrowest margin victory over Waimak Attack, who are in front the whole way, but right on the line. Northern Phoenix third, and fourth on the inside, Pedaleteers. Southern Premier get the nod by a dragon boat head over a very gallant Waimak attack. Northern Phoenix third and Paddleteers in fourth. And it's been confirmed, Southern Premier the winners. A time of 2 minutes point 4, 2 minutes point 4. Second Waimak attack, 2 minutes point 58, 2 minutes point 58. Northern Phoenix 206.6, 206.6, and Paddleteers a 216.7. So right on the line. Southern Premier nail Waimak attack. Rightio, let the afternoon stanza begin. Our 200 metre heats and then finals. Two crews on the water for the first of our 200 splash and dash. OPC closest to us in lane 1 and Waimak Vibes Wahine. They're in lane number 2. So we're all set for the first of our 200s. Short course racing at its best. Three crews in the next heat. They're making their way down. Pegasus Diamonds, Zonta, Simply the Breast. And the next crews, 4 crews, Ridge Riders, Southern Gold, Rainbow Warriors, Marlborough Dragons can also think about making their way down. But our 200 metres are off and racing. Pong OPC versus Waimak. 200 metres ahead of them. Both crews have made pretty good beginnings. Maybe Waimak on the outside with the Dragon Boat in front early stages over OPC closest to us. But we do know OPC like to get going late in the race. They like to rhythm it up at the moment. But Waimak, they're off and gone. They'll put half a boat length over OPC in the blink of an eye as they get towards the 100 metre mark. And OPC lying second at the moment because away go Waimak Vibes Wahine, opening up 3/4 of a boat length already. At the 100 metre mark, OPC are trying to gather up momentum and speed in the lane closest to us in lane 2. But I think Waimak are off and gone here. Waimak Vibes Wahine, 3/4 to a boat length advantage over OPC as they get towards the 50 metre mark. And Waimak Vibes Wahine, easy as you like at the moment. They've got a boat length advantage over OPC on the concluding stages. And Waimak Vibes Wahine continue their winning run. Down to the line, win it easy. Waimak Vibes Wahine, a boat length over OPC, who couldn't quite gather that early speed as they've been shown during the afternoon and early morning session. And they'll be second, will be their lot. So Waimak Vibes Wahine second, first, second OPC. Thank you. See you later. So Waimak recorded a 104.7, 104.7, and OPC a 110, 110.06. The times for our first of our 200 metre splash and dash.
Hold.
Right, stand by for a start in our second of our 200 metre heats. Pegasus Diamonds, Zonta, Simply the Breast racing. Pegasus Diamonds closest to us, lane 1, Zonta in 2, and Simply the Breast out in lane 3. Best start belonged to lane 3, Simply the Breast over lane 1. Pegasus Diamonds then back to Zonta. Simply the Breast out in front, lane 3, an advantage just over Pegasus Diamonds closest to us though. Pegasus Diamonds now gathering speed in the lane closest to us and splitting them as Zonta in lane 2. They're in third position. Not much between lanes 1 and 3. Pegasus Diamonds going paddle to paddle on the outside with Simply the Breast. Zonta half a boat length back in third position at the 100 metre mark. It's still out in front. It is Simply the Breast in lane 3. At advantage only just over Pegasus Diamonds. Closest to us in lane 1. Zonta in lane 3 in third position at the 75 metre mark. Still in front, the outside. It is Simply the Breast inside Pegasus Diamonds. Not much separating them. Zonta in third position at the 25 metre mark. It is still on the outside. Simply the Breast. Pegasus Diamonds finishing strongly in lane number 1. It is still on the outside. Simply the Breast. Pegasus Diamonds the inside, but Simply the Breast will see it through lane 3. They defeat Pegasus Diamonds by about half a boat length and a similar margin back to lane number 2 in Zonta. Simply the Breast, good beginning, kept up a strong paddle. Was tooth and nail there for a moment with Pegasus Diamonds, but over the concluding stages, Simply the Breast just drew clear to win by half a boat length and a similar margin back to Zonta in lane number 2. Ridge Riders, Southern Gold, Rainbow Warriors, Marlborough Dragons making their way down to the start. Crew loading should see Otapoti, OPC Kakariki, Amazon Hearts and Pegasus Panthers. Southern Premier, Mana Wahine, A Breast of Life and Waimak Attack can also start making their way down to crew loading. Simply the Breast, a 1:15.73, 1:15.73. Second was Pegasus Diamonds, 1:12.02, 1:12.02. And Zonta recording a 1:15.77, 1:15.77 their times for their first of their 200 metre splash and dash short course racing here as part of the Aoraki Open. Just getting a little bit more testing out there on the lake as the typical the Christchurch wind kicks in mid-afternoon. So just getting a little bit more testing there for the crews and the starters down at the start there. Nearly set. Got them happy racing. Race 25 is underway. Ridge Riders, Southern Gold, Rainbow Warriors and Marlborough Dragons. Best start closest to us, lane 1. Ridge Riders on the journey. Rainbow Warriors in lane 3 out after them. Splitting them as Southern Gold. On the outside is Marlborough Dragons. They paddle the way through the halfway mark. Very close here, lane 1. Ridge Riders have a slight advantage over Rainbow Warriors in lane 3. Then Marlborough Dragons in lane 4, back to lane 2, Southern Gold. Inside the second stanza of race 25, there's only about 2 or 3 metres from top to bottom. And in front, closest to us, Ridge Riders. They lead Southern Gold lane 2, Rainbow Warriors lane 3, and lane number 4 in Marlborough Dragons. It states at 1, 2, 3 and 4 in lanes at the moment. Lane 1 closest to us, Ridge Riders. Southern Gold now getting into their work in lane 2. So are the Rainbow Warriors. Ridge Riders still in front. Southern Gold piercing the needle through the middle. Ridge Riders still in control. Southern Gold lifting in lane number 2. Ridge Riders and Southern Gold. Southern Gold see it through. Second, Ridge Riders. Third, Rainbow Warriors. Fourth, Marlborough Dragons. It was 2 metres top to bottom. Good race. Good race, but Southern Gold got the win. Ridge Riders were in front for a majority of the race. And then Ridge Riders, they pierced the gap in the middle, drove the Dragon Boat through and got the win by the barest of margins over lane 1. Ridge Riders, Rainbow Warriors, third, Marlborough Dragons, fourth, but there was only 2 metres top to bottom. Southern Gold first, 101.13, 101.13. Ridge Riders 101.64, 101.64. Rainbow Warriors 102.07, 102.07, and Marlborough Dragons 104.47, 104.47. Second and a half top to bottom. That's how close that heat was. Set. Race 26 is underway. Otapoti closest to us, lane 1. OPC lane 2. Amazon Hearts 3. Pegasus Panthers on the outside in 4. Otapoti is expected. Smart finish or smart beginning in lane 1 closest to us. Have got a 5 metre advantage already. Lane 2 lying second, OPC. Then lane 4, Pegasus Panthers and Amazon Hearts in lane 3. Getting through to the halfway stage, lane 1. Autoporti, 3 could make a half a boat length over lane 4, Pegasus Panthers. Then OPC lying third in lane 2, Amazon Hearts. Inside the last 100 metres, Autoporti, they lead in lane number 1 over Pegasus Panthers in lane number 3. Then back to OPC and Amazon Hearts. 50 metres to pedal. Closest to us, Autoporti, very solid start, and they're keeping up a pretty strong pedal. Pegasus Panthers finishing strongly down the outside of the lake, but Autoporti closest to us. They'll see it through, they'll grab the win. Autoporti first, second, lane 2. Lane 2, OPC, then Pegasus, then Amazon. Big finish from OPC in lane number 2. They're back fourth with 50 to pedal, but they really picked it up to finish second ahead of Pegasus Panthers and Amazon Hearts. But Autoporti, once again, a very solid start, kept up a strong pedal, and they went away to win it by about a quarter of a boat length.
Is that 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order? 1, 2, 4, 3? 5, 6, in that order? In order? Yep.
So they're finishing in lane 1. Autoporti got the job done in race number 26. Recorded a 58.48. 58.48. Second, OPC Kakariki, 59.93. 59.93. Third, Amazon Hearts. Recorded a 1 minute .53. 1 minute .53. Pegasus Panthers were fourth, a 1 minute .78. Looking pretty good, just waiting for Mana Wahine to come up at 2. Southern Premier idle in the lake nicely. Mana Wahine just been asked to come on up to the ley line, just getting the boat a little bit skewer. Nearly set, happy, sings them on their way. Race 27, Southern Premier, Mana Wahine, a Breast of Life and Waimak Attack. Inside, Southern Premier made a good beginning over Waimak Attack out of lane 4, then lane 2. Mana Wahine and a Breast of Life in lane number 3. It is inside and out. Southern Premier closest to us in lane 1. Waimak Attack out of lane 4, nothing between them. Similar battle for second, for third and fourth between Mana Wahine and a Breast of Life. They patter their way through the halfway mark. Who's in front? It's Waimak Attack out in lane 4. They've got a good advantage at the moment. Can Southern Premier peg it back? They were lying third as a Breast of Life over Mana Wahine, but at the moment Waimak Attack in front. Southern Premier are trying to pick it up on the inside, but away go Waimak Attack. They lead at the moment, and they're going to beat Southern Premier here. Waimak Attack are leading down to the line, and they'll win it. Waimak Attack first, Southern Premier second. It's a good half a boat length. Then back to Mana Wahine in third, and a Breast of Life in fourth position. Waimak Attack, very good start out of the blocks, kept up a strong pedal throughout, and have beaten Southern Premier closest to us in lane 1. Mana Wahine get the third placing, just ahead of a Breast of Life. Waimak Attack, 53.77, 53.77. Second, Southern Premier, 55.43. Mana Wahine, a 1 minute .33, 1 minute .33, and a Breast of Life, 102.16, 102.16. So a very quick time there, 53, a tick over 53 seconds there for Waimak Attack in lane number 4.
Awesome, looking good.
Slow them down, slow them down. Slow.
Looking promising.
5 and 6 is good. Bring it up, 7. 5 and 6 hold.
Northern Phoenix
Hold.
coming up in their lane 3. Becker in 2. Pelletiers 1. Starters happy. Sends them on their way. Race number 28's underway between Pelletiers, lane 1, Becker in 2, and on the outside, Northern Phoenix. Northern Phoenix best beginning. They lead early on in lane 3 over lane 2, Becker. Then back to lane number 1, the Pelletiers. So it is Northern Phoenix. Northern Phoenix in front by 4 or 5 metres over lane 2, Becker. Then it's back to back to Pelletiers, closest to us in lane 1 in 3rd position. They paddle their way over the halfway mark in race 28. And in front is lane 3. It is Northern Phoenix, clear by half a boat length. Flying second lane 2, Becker. Then back to lane number 1, Pelletiers inside the 75. Northern Phoenix on the outside, they lead over lane 2, which is Becker. And lane 1 closest to us is Pelletiers. Northern Phoenix still in front. They've got about 40 metres to paddle. Lane number 2, Becker trying to bridge the gap. Then back to Pelletiers, but Northern Phoenix going to see it through from go to woe. Lane 3, Northern Phoenix first. Becker will be second. And third, about 3/4 of a boat length away, will be Pelletiers. Lanes 3, 2, 1. Northern Phoenix first, Becker second, and Pelletiers third. So Northern Phoenix first in lane number 3. They recorded a 56.35, 56.35. Becker second, 57.57. And third, lane number 1, Pelletiers, a 1 minute .80. Racing. And race number 29, OPC and Waimak are going to it head to head. OPC and Waimak. OPC closest to us and Waimak in lane number 3. Who made the best beginning on the outside? Waimak. Waimak underway, a slight advantage over OPC closest to us through the first 50 metres of race number 29, but it's Waimak. Allen number 3 now starting at full bore. They put half a boat length in the twinkling of an eye on the outside. Waimak Vibes Wahine over OPC closest to us. They get towards the halfway mark. It is Waimak in lane 3 with an advantage. OPC trying to bridge the gap in lane number 2. 75 metres to paddle, but it's still Waimak. Waimak Vibes Wahine in lane number 3. They lead. OPC Ponga are trying to come back in lane number 2. At the 55 metre mark after a steady beginning. Waimak really got into their stride after 25-30 metres and have kept up a very strong paddle throughout the remaining of the heats. And Waimak are going to cruise down to the line to win it over OPC. The margin will be about a boat length. So Waimak Vibes Wahine cross the line now. They win it by a boat length over OPC in second position. So there was race number 29 after a tardy old start there by Waimak. They got into rhythm and kept up a very strong stroke rate to carry on to win race number 29. Waimak 104.97, 104.97, OPC 108.63, 108.63. Pegasus Diamonds lane 1. Lane 2, Simply the Breast, Zonta on the outside in 3. Stand by. Starters happy. There they go, racing in race number 30 between Pegasus Diamonds, closest to us in 1, Simply the Breast in 2, and Zonta on the outside in 3. Zonta got the best start. They lead in lane 3 over lane 2, Simply the Breast, and then lane 1, Pegasus Diamonds. Through the first 50 metres, and in front now is Simply the Breast. They've bulldozed their way into the front of lane 2 over Zonta out in 3, then back to lane 1 and the Pegasus Diamonds. They get towards the halfway point. Now in front is Simply the Breast. They've got a 5 metre advantage over Zonta in lane 3, then back to Pegasus Diamonds closest to us in lane number 1. Inside the 75, Simply the Breast in front, Zonta on the outside, and Pegasus Diamonds closest to us in lane 1. Simply the Breast still in control. They've got 50 metres to paddle. They lead over Zonta, and on the inside is Pegasus Diamonds. Inside the 35, it is still Simply the Breast. Lane 2, they lead. Zonta in 3, and Pegasus Diamonds in lane 1. 25 metres to paddle. Still Simply the Breast in front. Zonta on the outside and Pegasus Diamonds, but Simply the Breast down to the line. They'll win it. Simply the Breast first. Who's going to grab second? Zonta and Pegasus Diamonds. Very close for second and third. Zonta. Zonta grabs second, and Pegasus Diamonds in third position. Simply the Breast got the victory there. Zonta second, and Pegasus Diamonds third. Simply the Breast first, recorded a 1:10.27, 1:10.27. Zonta second, a 1:13.27, 1:13.79. And third was Pegasus Diamonds, a 1:14.51, 1:14.51. They are the times. Race 30 underway between Rainbow Warriors, Marlborough Dragons, Ridge Riders and Southern Gold. Who made the best start? Lane 1, Rainbow Warriors on the journey. Lead out Ridge Riders in lane 3, then Marlborough Dragons in 2, and Southern Gold on the outside in lane number 4. Current leader, lane 1, Rainbow Warriors, now been overtaken by Ridge Riders in 3. Back to third is Marlborough Dragons in lane 2, and lane 4 is Southern Gold, who are really getting into their stride mid-race. In leading at the moment, it is Ridge Riders in lane number 3. They lead lane 1, which is Rainbow Warriors. Now Southern Gold on the outside, getting a little bit more prominent, and then back to Marlborough Dragons in lane number 2. At the moment, it is Ridge Riders in 3. They lead at the moment, but down the outside, Southern Gold finishing very strongly after a very tardy start. At the moment, Ridge Riders in front. Southern Gold, who are slow off the marks, are now producing a big finish down the outside. Ridge Riders and Southern Gold. Marlborough Dragons are still there. On the outside, Southern Gold, Ridge Riders, Southern Gold. Good win. Southern Gold first, Ridge Riders second, Marlborough Dragons third, and Rainbow Warriors fourth. Good finish there. Southern Gold were very slow off the mark. Clearly fourth by a good 3 or 4 metres, but really wound up over the concluding stages and finished too strong for Ridge Riders. Marlborough Dragons very gallant in third, only about 2 metres away, and Rainbow Warriors, they went too far away as well. Good finish, but Southern Gold get the win. So first was Southern Gold. They recorded a 1:01.15, 1:01.15. Ridge Riders a 1:01.66, 1:01.66. Marlborough Dragons 1:01.88, 1:01.88. Only 0.7 first to third. And Rainbow Warriors 1:05.38, 1:05.38. So close finish, good finish there. Yeah, but Southern Gold got the job done there. Looking likely for a start. Race number 32, Mana Wahine, OPC, Pegasus Panthers, and A Breath of Life. We're racing. Who has made the best beginning? It was made by lane 3. Pegasus Panthers made a very good beginning from lane number 2, OPC Kakariki, then lane number 1, Mana Wahine, and out to lane 4, A Breath of Life. So in front at the moment is Pegasus Panthers. They lead early on, only just so over OPC Kakariki in lane 2. Then lane 1, Mana Wahine. And then over to lane 4, a Breast of Life. So they're getting towards the halfway mark. And race number 32, and out in front, still lane 3, Pegasus Panthers. They lean lane 2, OPC Kakariki. Then back to lane number 1, Mana Wahine. And a Breast of Life out in lane 4. Lane 3, Pegasus Panthers now being overhauled by OPC in lane 2. Mana Wahine getting to their stride late in the piece. Then back to Pegasus Panthers and a Breast of Life. OPC Kakariki in front, lane 2, over Mana Wahine and Pegasus Panthers. The line beckons. Who's it going to be? OPC Kakariki. Yes, they see it through. OPC Kakariki very close, second and third. Pegasus Panthers fought back in lane 3. Mana Wahine, those two go the line locked together, and not far away, lane 4, a Breast of Life. OPC Kakariki got the win. Very close, second and third. Between OPC Kakariki and Pegasus Panthers, couldn't split them, and a Breast of Life in lane number 4, they'll be fourth. But good finish there, but OPC Kakariki lane 2, they see it through. Photo finish second and third between Mana Wahine closest to us, lane 1, and Pegasus Panthers in lane number 3. Race 27 goes the way of OPC Kakariki. They recorded a 59.75. 59.75. Second, Mana Wahine, 1 minute, 0.69. 1 minute, 0.69. Pegasus Panthers, 0.01 of a second. 1 minute, 0.70. Yep, 1.01, 100th of a second separating second and third, and a Breast of Life for fourth. And they recorded a 2.84. There we go. So second and third, 100th of a second separating them. Very, very close second and third. But OPC Kakariki got the win. Set for a start. Racing and race number 33, Amazon Hearts, Northern Phoenix, Autoporti and Southern Premier. Race lane 3, Autoporti, good start. Early advantage over lane 4, which is Southern Premier. Then back to lane 1, Amazon Hearts and Northern Phoenix. Lead change. Lane 4's got the front now. Southern Premier over Autoporti just inside them. In lane 3, second. Then lane 2, Northern Phoenix. And lane number 1, which is Amazon Hearts, padding towards the halfway mark. And it's Southern Premier. They've wrestled that lead off Autoporti and lead. Now Autoporti just going a wee bit skewer for the moment. They're followed by Northern Phoenix and Amazon Hearts. The better queue up. Autoporti might be trouble here. Collision coming up here. Look out, people. Whoa, just missed. Just missed. But away goes Southern Premier. They're off and gone. Southern Premier down the line to win it easy. Who's going to get second and third? Northern Phoenix and Amazon Hearts. Autoporti, Compass went astray there. Southern Premier first. Second is going to be Northern Phoenix. Third, Amazon Hearts, and Autoporti got the compass all wrong at the 100 metre mark, and they'll come home in fourth position. Did well to avoid the collision there at Autoporti, but they got the compass astray halfway down, and they'll cross over in fourth spot. So Southern Premier first, Northern Phoenix second, Amazon Hearts third, Autoporti fourth. Rightio, times, race 33 for Southern Premier, got the win, 54.46. Second fastest time of the day. Second was Northern Phoenix, 59.61, 59.61. Amazon Hearts, 100.01, 100.001, and Ortaporti, 119.59, 119.59. That were times for race 33, but unfortunately Ortaporti, who have been pretty good all day, they just got the compass a little astray in that event there. Last heat of the day, race 34, Waimak Attack lane 1, Becker 2, Paddler Tears lane 3. Northern Phoenix on 2, and Amazon 1. Becker getting up to the start line. Paddler Tears just getting the boat a little more straight in the water. They look pretty good out in 3. Waimak Attack closest to us. It's a wee bit skewer, but they're bringing the boat around. Starters all happy. Sends him on the way. Waimak Attack lane 1. Becker 2, lane 3 is Paddler Tears. Best start, closest to us, lane 1. Waimak Attack got a very good start. Becker lying second, lane 2, and Paddler Tears in lane 3 are lying third. So numerical order, Wayne's lanes 1, 2 and 3 in that racing order. In the moment, Waimak Attack closest to us, lane 1 lead. Lying second, Becker in 2, and Paddler Tears out in 3. They're in third position. Through the 100 metre mark, it is Waimak Attack making every post a winner. They lead at the moment over lane number 2, which is Becker, and lane number 3, which is Paddler Tears, inside the 75 metre mark. It is still Waimak Attack closest to us. They lead by half a boat length over Becker in 2 and Paddler Tears in 3. But I think it's going to be as simple as 1, 2, 3 in those lanes, and Waimak Attack down the line to win the last heat quite convincingly by about half a boat length. Waimak Attack first, Becker will be second, and third will be Paddler Tears. 1 boat length between first to third, and that wraps up the racing heat-wise. Back shortly with the lane draw for the finals, but Waimak Attack take out the last heat ahead of Becker and Paddler Tears. So Waimak Attack wrapping up the final heat. Recorded a 56.95, 56.95. Becker second, a 59.82, 59.82. Paddler Tears third, a 102.23, 102.23. So Waimak Attack to go with their 53 in the first round, 56 in the second. Racing in the first of our 200 metre finals between Zonta closest to us and Pegasus Diamonds furthest away in lane number 3. So good start made by both crews. Zonta lead early on in lane 2 closest to us. Now Pegasus Diamonds get into there. Stroke rate in lane number 3 and have wrestled the lead off. So lane 3, Pegasus Diamonds in front. Over Zonta, closest to us in lane 2. They've gone through the first 50 metres. And Pegasus Diamonds, half a boat length clear of Zonta after a slow beginning, really starting to pick up the stroke rate. In front now, still remains lane 3, Pegasus Diamonds. Zonta trying to bridge the gap though, they're about a half a boat length away. Inside the second stanza, final one. It is still in front, lane 3, Pegasus Diamonds over Zonta, closest to us. They've got 75 metres to pedal, the margin is 3/4 of a boat length. It is Pegasus Diamonds, lane 3 in front. Zonta are trying to bridge the gap back. But Pegasus Diamond doing a pretty good job at the moment with 50 metres to paddle. Zonta trying to come back at them, but at the moment it is Pegasus Diamonds. They're clear by a boat length, and they're going to cruise down to the line to take out the first of our minor finals. So Pegasus Diamonds first, Zonta 1 boat length away in second position. So there's the first of our finals, the minor final, taken out by Pegasus Diamonds in lane 3, and defeating Zonta in lane 2. So times 1:14.36 the time for Pegasus Diamonds, and Zonta recording a 1:19.01, 1:19.01 for Zonta, a 1:14.34 for Pegasus Diamonds. Set for a start. Final number 2. Racing. OPC closest to us, lane 1. Waimak Vibes, Wahine 2. Simply the Breast in lane number 3 as they pedal the way through the first 25 metres. Lane 3 they lead. That is Simply the Breast over lane 1. OPC, Waimak Vibes, Wahine splitting them in lane number 2 in third position. They're pedaling towards the halfway mark. Lane 3 leads Simply the Breast over Waimak in 2. And then back to OPC in lane number 3. Strong 20 metres there from Waimak. They've gone from third to first. So Waimak Vibes, Wahine, they now lead in lane 2 over Simply the Breast out in 3, then back to OPC closest to us in lane 1 at the 100 metre mark. Still in front, it's lane 2, Waimak Vibes, Wahine, they lead over Simply the Breast in lane 3, and then back to OPC closest to us. Very strong second half here from Waimak. They've got the lead back. Waimak Vibes, Wahine lead. Simply the Breast are trying to bridge the gap in lane 3, then back to OPC closest to us in lane 1. But they got this all parcelled up as Waimak Vibes, Wahine down the line to win it. Waimak first. Who's going to get second? OPC second. Simply the Breast third. Now there's a second of our finals. A bit of a sluggish start there by Waimak Vibes, Wahine, but they really got into their work mid-race, grabbed the lead, and went on to record a handsome victory by about half a boat length. Second OPC with a very strong second half of the race. And third will be Simply the Breast. So Waimak Vibes, Wahine get the win, recording a 1:04.20. Second, OPC lane 1, 1:05.61. And third, Simply the Breast. They recorded a 1:06.80. 1:06.80. There's race number 36. Nearly set for a start in our third final. Rainbow Warriors closest to us, lane 1. Marlborough Dragons in 2. Southern Gold 3, Ridge Riders 4. They're happy with the start and away they go. The 4 boats on the water, good start. Lane number 2, Marlborough Dragons first out. They lead Ridge Riders out in lane number 4 in second position. Back to lane 1, that is Rainbow Warriors. And then lane 3, Southern Gold. They get towards the first 50 metres of our third final. And in front, lane 4, Ridge Riders have got the lead over lane 2, which is Marlborough Dragons. Then lane number 3, Southern Gold, and lane 1, Rainbow Warriors at the halfway point. It is lane 4 in control, Southern Gold, Ridge Riders. They're in control of lane number 2, which is Marlborough Dragons. Southern Gold piercing through the middle, and then Rainbow Warriors closest to us in lane 1. Inside the last 75, Ridge Riders out out in lane 4 have got the lead. Here comes Southern Gold out after them. And then we've got Marlborough Dragons still in front. Ridge Riders, Southern Gold trying to finish fast in lane number 3. Ridge Riders still in control. Southern Gold are lunging late. Ridge Riders in front. Southern Gold, who's it going to be? Ridge Riders. Ridge Riders first. Southern Gold second. Third, Marlborough Dragons. And fourth home, Rainbow Warriors. The start won that race there. Ridge Riders are quickly into stride. Got up to a good stroke rate early on. Southern Gold were a little bit slow off the mark, but got into the work late in the piece. But Ridge Riders get the win over Southern Gold, Marlborough Dragons and Rainbow Warriors. Ridge Riders first, 58.31, 58.31. Southern Gold second, 59.14, 59.14. Marlborough Dragons third, a 1 minute point 11, 1 minute point 11. And Rainbow Warriors a 106.52, 106.52. So good win there. Ridge Riders quickly off the start line and get it to a stroke rate pretty quickly. As we said, Southern Gold just a little bit slow off the mark. A very strong second half that went under by a barrister margins, but Ridge Riders get the victory in our third final. Standard Women Grand Final up next. Pegasus Panthers 1, Amazon Hearts 2, OPC Kakariki 3, Mana Wahine in 4. Looking good for a start. Race 38, the fourth of our finals. Pegasus Panthers 1, Amazon Hearts 2, OPC 3, Mana Wahine in 4. That's one of Amazon Hearts that coming up. He's happy, the starter. Send him away. Racing, race 38. Pegasus Panthers lane 1, Amazon Hearts 2, OPC 3, and Mana Wahine in 4. OPC, good beginning in lane number 3. Lead early on over Mana Wahine. They're in lane 4, then back to lane 1. Pegasus Panthers, Amazon Hearts in lane 2. At the moment, lane 3, OPC, they lead over Mana Wahine in 4. Then back to Pegasus Panthers in lane number 1 and lane number 2, which is Amazon Hearts. Halfway through the final number 4. And in front, it is lane 3 at the moment. They're in control. That is OPC, but here comes Mana Wahine down the outside in lane 4. Then back to lane number 2, Amazon Hearts and Pegasus Panthers. Lane 4, Mana Wahine have drove the Dragon Boat to the front. OPC are trying to fight back in lane number 3. Mana Wahine and OPC Kakariki. Mana Wahine, lane 4, OPC fighting back. The line beckons. Who's it going to be? Mana Wahine. Mana Wahine have defeated OPC. Third would be lane number 2, which is Amazon Hearts, and then back to lane number 1, Pegasus Panthers. Mana Wahine overcome the very slow start to overcome and finish best to beat OPC in lane number 3. Lane 2's run third. That is Amazon Hearts, and Pegasus Panthers closest to lane 1. They'll be fourth. So Mana Wahine out in lane number 4 get the victory, recording a 58.57, 58.5 second. Second, OPC Kakariki in lane number 3, a 58.88, 58.88. Third, Amazon Hearts in lane 2, 1 minute point 13, 1 minute point 13. And Pegasus Panthers in lane 1 closest to us, a 103.41, 103.41. Now that is final number 4 going the way of Mana Wahine. Right, nearly set for a start. Our penultimate final. Racing Abreast of Life versus Pedaleteers, no Orta Porti, so just the two crews. And our penultimate final, Abreast of Life closest to us, made the best start. Pedaleteers will now get into their work after about 10 or 15 metres and have wrestled the lead off. So Pedaleteers lane 2, they lead over Abreast of Life. The two crews have gone through the first 55 metres. And lane number 3, or lane 2 should I say, Pedaleteers, they lead. Over Pedaleteers, lane 1 closest to us, which is Abreast of Life. Pedaleteers in front, lane number 2, over Abreast of Life, closest to us in lane number 1. At the halfway mark, it is still Pedaleteers, about half a boat length clear of Abreast of Life. We're going to try now and bridge the gap over the last half of the race. It is still Pedaleteers, lane 2, in control. Abreast of Life are trying to bridge the gap at the 45 metre mark. It is still in front, lane 2. Pedaleteers over Abreast of Life, 25 metres to pedal. It is the Pedaleteers in front. Abreast of Life can do no better, and down the line they go, and Pedaleteers, lane 2, will get the victory by a boat length over Abreast of Life, closest to us in lane number 1. There is the mixed minor final taken out by Pedaleteers, lane 2 first, Abreast of Life, and lane number 1 will be second. Last final. Oh, great catch, Noel. Pedaleteers are 101.08, 101.08, and Abreast of Life, lane 1, they recorded a 104.91, 104.91. Last final on the water. Northern Phoenix, lane 1, Waimak Attack, lane 2, Southern Premier 3, Becca 4. And the last race of the day, probably the best conditions of the afternoon. Just the winds just died down a little. Last final, here we go. Northern Phoenix, Waimak Attack, Southern Premier Becca. Battle Royal will happen here. Set, Start's important, racing, Northern Phoenix, Wymack, Southern Premier, Becker. Who got the best start? Lane 2, Wymack Attack got a very good start in the second lane. Over Southern Premier in lane 3, then back to lane 4, Becker, and lane number 1 closest to us. That is Northern Phoenix through the first 25 metres. It is Wymack Attack and Southern Premier going paddle to paddle, Dragon Boat to Dragon Boat. They lead, lying third at the moment, lane number 4, Becker, then lane 1, Northern Phoenix. They get to the halfway mark. Who's in front? It is Southern Premier in control. Wymack Attack lifting their game in lane 2, then Becker and Northern Phoenix. At the 50-metre mark, it is lane number 3. It is Southern Premier in front. Can Northern Phoenix bridge the gap? Southern Premier in front. Wymack Attack are trying to bridge the gap, but away goes Southern Premier. Southern Premier down the line, they're going to win it. Southern Premier first, Wymack Attack second. Third's going to be Becker Crusaders ahead of lane 1 in Northern Phoenix. Southern Premier. Wymack Attack got the best of the starts, but Southern Premier really got into their work early on, and they led at the halfway mark and they drew clear of the concluding stages. So Southern Premier first, Wymack Attack second, Becker third, and Northern Phoenix fourth. Wymack Southern Premier first, 53.23, 53.23. Second, Wymack Attack, 54.34, 54.34. Third was Becker, a 56.46. And fourth, Northern Phoenix, closest to us, lane 1, a 57.50. Wraps up Aoraki champs for 2024. The last race taken out by Southern Premier. They double up the titles by winning the 500 or the 460 early on today and winning the 200s. So that wraps up the 40 race card here at Lake Raga this afternoon. Everybody enjoyed your dragon boating throughout the afternoon. No doubt we'll see you back here in 3 weeks' time as part of the South Island Champs. Until then, or the prize giving very shortly. So prize giving over by your gazebos and approximately 15 minutes for your prize giving. Otherwise, we'll see you all back here at the South Island Champs in 3 weeks' time.